So what I have in my scale right now is 50 grains of Scheutzen 3F by volume. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh that out, 50 grains, and then put 50 grains of my Osage Alder blended gunpowder, homemade gunpowder. And I'm using this right now just simply because this is what I have the most of. Then I'm going to see what this weighs and make the adjustment in my second powder measure so that when I get out there and get you some numbers through the chronograph, we're shooting gunpowders that are actually equal in weight. That's what I'm working on right now. So let me get kind of situated here. Shoots in, so that way I know when I'm out at the shooting range, that's the one I use. And let's see if 50 grains by volume is 50 grains by weight. Okay, so there's 50 grains. You can see she's still a little heavy. Oops, let me go put it at 60. Okay, let me do it this way and see what it actually weighs. Just to let you know it's cold in here. Hold on for just a sec. Right now it's 10:30 in the morning, and as you can see, it's just right. I'm guessing about 32, 34, maybe 34 to 36 degrees in here. It's pretty chilly. It's actually 51 grains. So that's what I'm going to weigh out my Osage Alder and then see how much volume that occupies in my second powder measure. Alright, there she is level, and if you can read the measure, she's just about just above the 0 on the 6, so I'd guess she's probably about maybe volume wise 58 grains. And I'm doing this just simply because I'm going to start getting some numbers. I want to see what 50 grains of Scheutzen will record through the chronograph, and then I want to see what this weighs, or the volume versus the weight, what it gets, and then I've got some numbers established so that if I elect to do more of this during the summer, I know where my measurement to weight volume should be. Because I might just end up doing 5 shots at about close to the 70 grain mark, which should be close to the 60 grain mark by weight. So I'm going to go get set up and start recording some numbers. So before I get loaded up and take the first shot, I wanted to mention this the other day when I did the video working on the lock and fixing the double set triggers, that this particular barrel has got 8 land in grooves. Now traditionally and historically 7 and 8 land in grooves was very common. Today most of your factory gun barrels are typically 7 land in grooves, and I'm given to understand that today's better gun barrels, don't quote me on this, have actually 8 land in grooves. But I don't know if this is really typical for a .45 caliber rifle or not. I've mentioned before, at least I think I have, I'm not really a .45 caliber guy, but this just may, change my mind. So I'm going to get loaded up. I'll be shooting Scheutzen first, and then I'll turn around and load the peanut shell Osage and see what kind of numbers we get from that. And as I put my earplugs in, I went to an 18 thousandths patch. I have some 20 thousandths patches to see if I can limit the burn through with the patches. This rifling appears to be pretty deep rifling, so we'll just see what happens. $15.79. Well, there's the patch. It's a little torn right here, but that could have just been not having this perfectly centered when I loaded it. All right, I'll get you another number. $16.54. Found that patch. It's not burnt through, which is a good sign for me, knowing even this rifle will handle 18 to 20 thousandths patch. And if I keep the gun, I'm going to have to work with the sights just a bit. It's shooting just a hair to the right. I did try tapping the sights over yesterday, but I wasn't sure if they'd moved or not. But anyhow, at least I'm not taking out my chronograph. I can't feel any creep whatsoever on those triggers. 16.61. And today I am using Remington number 11s, and I am getting some blow-by right here, even with these factory percussion caps. You have to bear in mind, I'm shooting a right-handed gun, left-handed, so any cap fragment is going to naturally hit me right in here. When you're shooting left-handed and the lock is on this side, my stabilizing hand is away from any shrapnel from the caps flying forward. Something to bear in mind for you guys that want to, maybe criticize or say things like, well, I'm not going to shoot these plastic caps because of what my forearm looked like. You need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I'm shooting a right-handed gun, left-handed, so any shrapnel is going to hit here, whereas the opposite side, it's not going to happen. Just bear that in mind. $16.60. $16.44. Okay, I'm gonna get resituated here. I don't know how much resituating I'm doing. I'm not even gonna clean the barrel. I'm just gonna load the volume to weight with my peanut shell Osage and see what kind of numbers it produces also. Well, there's this last patch. It's no burn through, but you can see Scheutzen actually is pretty clean burning gunpowder. Just a side note for laughs and giggles. And just for full disclosure, I'm leaving the chronograph right where it is, just simply because it's not hot. When I started this shooting, it was about 10:30, and it was about 38 to 40 degrees. So I don't think the daytime or the morning heat is affecting this at all, like it does during the summer months. $16.75. I'm going to go mark that off. I am actually holding the sights now, since this thing is, pulling to the right. I'm actually trying to hold the front sight to the outer left edge of that 2-inch circle. I'm going to go mark it off, get reloaded, and get you some more numbers. Well, there's that patch. Osage Alder. It's pretty clean. I would dare say it's real clean. 1641. What is that, 1642? I can't quite see it with the sun reflecting in the view screen. But yeah, it looks like 1642. Well, here's this patch. That's pretty damn clean, guys. I would dare say that is as clean as the Scheutzen. And the numbers appear to be right on par with the Scheutzen. And that's gunpowder that's not glazed or coated with graphite. I don't know if it's the .45 caliber or what, but one thing for sure, this is changing my mind a little bit about .45 calibers. All right, load it up and get you some more numbers. And just a side note, I've not had any issues loading whatsoever. Spit patch seems to be working just as good as it normally does. $16.84. Well, there's that patch, all intact and clean. I got one more to go. $16.91. I'm going to take one more shot, just simply because I want to see for myself what 70 grains out of this powder measure, which is made out of a deer bone, will do through the chronograph. I'm pretty pleased with even the 50 grains by weight, but I just kind of want to bump it up another 10 by volume, 10 by weight, whatever this. I think I actually did this by weight, so that when I put 70 grains of my homemade gunpowder in it, volume-wise, it should be shooting around 62, 63 grains by weight, if that makes any sense. So I'm going to get loaded up and we'll see what it does. I'm only going to just take the one shot. Well, I think you guys can see that as clearly as I can. I'm going to go ahead and pull that target and crunch some numbers and see where or how they compare. But before I do that, there's that final patch. 70 grains by volume or weight. I forget which one it actually is. But that's clean. That's as clean as all of the Scheutzen patches are. And that gun, shot number 11, went somewhere in this cluster. And once again, from 6 through 11, I was aiming at this edge right here. And this is where they all went. First 5 shots, I was aiming like right in the center, and most of them favored this side of the bullseye. So obviously, I got to adjust the sight just a tad, but that's pretty damn good grouping, friends, for 11 shots. I'd say that's good grouping. So I'm going to get packed up and I'll get you some averages and some spread numbers. Stay tuned. As you can tell, it's about 42 degrees and I just got back here in the shop. So it was pretty chilly this morning shooting. So was that as fun for you as it was for me? Looking at the target a lot closer, shot number 11 hit right here. So that's actually a pretty good group. But what do the numbers tell us? Well, the 5-shot average with Scheutzen was 1639.6. with a spread of 82, and the homemade gunpowder Osage Alder 5-shot average 1666.6 with a spread of 50. Now again, not to beat a dead horse, but 1639.6 versus 1666.6, any deer with that type of placement is dead. But it is interesting to know that I got about what, almost 30 more feet per second with that 51 grain by weight versus the volume of Scheutzen. So I would say that it's just right on par with Scheutzen. And I am impressed completely with that 70 grain shot at 1860. Let me go reconfirm that, because I think it was actually 1840. Let me go reconfirm that. So, looking at it, shot number 11, that's correct, 1860. So that's pretty impressive, for me at least, out of a 45 caliber gun. Like I've said before, I'm not a 45 caliber guy. Why, I don't know, but certainly with this particular firearm and the way that this thing groups at 30 yards, I'm pretty impressed. I really am. And what the feet per second I got with the 70 grain shot at 1860 impresses me even further. And my patches were clean all the way through, which is a good sign. The heavier pillow ticking 20 thousandths patch stopped the burn through, so that's encouraging also. So anyhow, friends, as the recording of this, it's it's New Year's Day Eve, so I hope everybody has a happy and safe New Year's. And if you found any of this information enjoyable, you liked it, give it a thumbs up and share it with your bestest of buds. Bye.